Hey guys, week 5 is here, and so uh, today I'm gonna go into week 5 with using the Sunday night football game last instead of Monday night football, just because of how big the matchup is on Sunday night between Dallas and San Francisco. And I realized I forgot over the last few weeks about my own picks for weeks 1 through 4, and they're not bad. Would like to have been a bit better. Last week taught me a lesson, and I'll get to that here in just a moment. But so far on the year, weeks 1 through 4, I'm sitting at 44-20, which is not bad. And I'll work on that to get better as the season progresses, of course. And then, what I learned from this last week, I decided to buy into the hype a little bit with the Dolphins, uh, and and yeah, I took into consideration that they put up 70 points against Denver, but Denver, well, we know what Denver is. They're struggling big time. And so I decided to go ahead and give it a try. And because normally I would have picked Buffalo. And well, that one came back to bite everybody who decided to go along with that instead of maybe what would have otherwise done. So learned my lesson with that one. Not that Miami's a bad team, they're not by any means, but yeah, I would have normally went with Buffalo there. Unless they're playing in Miami, and then because Buffalo, they don't like the heat at all. But that's another story. So on to Thursday, today, Thursday night football, Chicago at Washington, and I'm taking Washington over Chicago. Probably no surprise there. I mean, especially since they're playing in Washington, and Chicago is struggling everywhere. Although Justin Fields did look a lot better. And who knows, maybe can pull something out. I'm sure sooner or later they will pull something out. It's hard to go completely defeated throughout an entire season. Yeah, we know it's happened a couple of times before, but let's hope that doesn't happen to the Bears this year. So Redskins over Bears. And then on to Sunday, another London game, back-to-back weeks for the Jags. I looked it up, and they stayed in London, which was a good idea. I saw no sense in them coming back home, and then going back over just to come back home after the game. So they said they stayed the whole week in London, which works better for them. Wouldn't be nearly as tired as they would have been if they had done things the other way. Jags at the Buffalo Bills. Bills are deemed the home team. The Jags, they're getting better and better, but I think the Bills are riding too high, so I'm going to take Buffalo over Jacksonville. And then on to the 10 o'clock morning slate games, New Orleans at New England, and I'm going to roll with the Saints over the Patriots. And from there, a question mark game is Tennessee Titans at the Indianapolis Colts, and I can see a strong reason why Tennessee would be a favorite here, especially with King Henry and all. But I'm going to take the Colts at home. This could be a surpriser. I'm going to take the Colts over Tennessee. And then Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm going with the hot hand here with the Baltimore Ravens. On to the Carolina Panthers at the Detroit Lions. The Lions are the big cats, and the Battle of the Cats, yes. So I'm taking Detroit over Carolina. And another question mark game a bit, because here is Houston faces off with Atlanta. Sometimes with these kind of things, a lot of times I'll take the home team. And I'm going to do that here, even though I kind of have Houston looked really good last week, but then again, Pittsburgh was struggling everywhere last week, uncharacteristically on defense too. But so is Houston just getting that much better, or did Pittsburgh just have especially on defense, a really off day? But I'm going to take the Falcons. And then from there, the New York Giants at the Miami Dolphins. Not likely the Dolphins to drop one, especially two in a row. Especially against a Giants team that's struggling like they have no idea mean, this is their own nightmare that they're living in real life here. So the Dolphins over the Giants, and that ends the morning slot. And so beginning the afternoon games, the Cincinnati Bengals at the Arizona Cardinals, and they know that the Bengals are struggling, and well, the Arizona is not exactly flying high, no pun intended. But I'm not ready to give up on the Bengals, so I'm taking Cincinnati over Arizona. And then from there, Philadelphia Eagles at the LA Rams. And I'd like to give this one to the Rams. That's my brother's team. Been a Rams fan forever. But Philly, even though they've been winning ugly, and they're still getting, things are still gelling with the new coaches and everything else, but they're finding ways to win, and that's what a good team does. They find ways to win. And so I'm going to take the Eagles over the Rams. And then from there, the New York Jets at the Denver Broncos. And this should be a game that the Broncos would be able to win, especially when being at home. And they've started doing better in the second half as of last week. But the Jets may have found something inside themselves with this last game against the Chiefs, and we'll see how that pans out on the field this coming week as a starter. And so I'm going to take the Jets on the road over the Broncos. And then from there, we've got Kansas City Chiefs at the Minnesota Vikings, and I'm taking my Chiefs over the Vikings at Minnesota. And then Monday night, Green Bay Packers at the Las Vegas Raiders. There's the biggest problem with the Las Vegas Raiders is their head coach, Josh Daniels. That's their biggest problem. Whenever they can get around to fixing that, they'll get better. It doesn't seem like Josh McDaniels, at least in my opinion, this doesn't seem to be head coach material. He's probably better off as a coordinator. I think he should probably go back to New England. Maybe he can inherit the Patriots from Bill Belichick. But that's just my opinion. So I'm taking Packers over the Raiders. Oh, and teams on bye weeks this week, since the bye weeks start this week. So 4 teams on a bye: the Cleveland Browns, the LA Chargers, Seattle Seahawks, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Will not see them play this week. They are on their bye. And now on to Sunday Night Football. This is the Cowboys in-season Super Bowl. Brings me back to the old phrase, nothing could be finer than to beat the 49ers. They've met time and time again, spanning back to the 80s, in the conference title game. The 49ers beating Dallas in the game called The Catch, and leading them in the 80s to start off their dynasty with Joe Montana. And then they met again twice, 3 times in the 90s. Remembering those days, and it was believed, and it was true, that whoever won that conference title game in the NFC was going to be the inevitable winner in the Super Bowl. Poor Buffalo, they made it 4 years in a row and didn't win one. But they, at least for me anyway, I gained a lot of respect, because it's really hard to get there once. They went 4 times consecutively, but that's another story. But the Cowboys and the 49ers, they met in the conference title game, and that sparked that was the dynasty of the Cowboys back in the 90s, and the 49ers, they got one in there too. So 4 years of Super Bowls, 3 of them went to Dallas and the other went to San Francisco. Green Bay was in one of those title games too, but that was the latter part. So Dallas, this is your big opportunity to shut up all the naysayers and anybody's haterade. I'm kind of a naysayer to the point where, well, geez, it's been almost 30 years. So that's why I gave them before the beginning of the season, I think it was, a vote of no confidence for Dak Prescott and head coach Mike McCarthy. They've got something, at least in my opinion. Show me, prove it. And now here's your chance. In season. This is your in-season Super Bowl, Dallas Cowboys. If you beat the 49ers in San Francisco, and fortunately for Dallas, they play better on the road. You beat them, and you shut everybody up. And then you're no longer in a conversation of, well, possibly the Super Bowl. You know, they're every year they say, oh, the Cowboys are headed to the Super Bowl bound. This is our year. Well, you beat San Francisco this week, and that puts you in a conversation between yourselves, the 49ers, and Philadelphia. And that takes care of everything. The narrative changes just that quick, the snap of a finger. But you have to win that game. And the way I see it, your offensive line has got to do its best job. The quarterback's best friend is his running game. Running game's best friend is that line. The running game, if it goes through that line, if that running game is doing well, then that'll protect Prescott, and he doesn't have to. You do not want Prescott throwing 30 or 40 times, 30, 35, 40. You don't want that. They will lose. But what you want, run the ball, throw it, but you have to play action off the run. That offensive line has got to be clicking, and they've got to be controlling that line of scrimmage. They do that, Dallas can win this game. And let's see if Brock Purdy's human on the other side with Kyle Brandt. Shout out to Kyle. Guy's awesome. And shout out, with Kyle is saying that Brock Purdy's a robot. He's not human. Well, he doesn't make mistakes. Let's see if this Cowboys defense can get pressure on him. Same thing for San Francisco, in a sense, but only that their line has got to hold back that pass rush. And it's a dangerous pass rush. And Dallas has been shown that they can be run on. They get that fixed, and I think they've been working on it, and they may have that hole closed up. Hopefully so, because McCaffrey is a beast, and they've got to at least slow him down in order to have a better chance of winning this game. Can they get back there? Can they get Brock Purdy off his spot? Can they make him throw a hair faster than he wants to? Can they rattle him? Can they don't even have to sack him a lot. Just knock him down. Hit him. Keep him under pressure. Get him off his spot. And then the rest will take care of itself. And so, but with that, I'm going to take the 49ers over the Cowboys because it's a show me game. Prove it. This is going to be this is their measuring stick right now. And so I hope they can go out and do it. Prove me wrong. I would love to see that. But I'm taking San Francisco right now over the Cowboys. Dallas, this is your opportunity. Make the most of it. And so with that takes care of all of this. And we'll see how the weekend goes. Please leave your picks in the comments section with any other comments you'd like to leave. And thanks a lot for hanging with me. Take care. Bye-bye.